NextGenWalkthroughs.com. What's up, everyone? It's Rebel Link, and this is Modern Warfare 2 Beginner's Guide to Veteran. Okay, so this is part 2 of the Loose Ends mission in Act 3. And we're going to be defending the DSM module, or ACM, whatever. And the strategy we're going to use is one that Beer Baron used, and actually staying in that back room and defending both entrances into the estate, which is the front door and the side door and the side stairs. So this part's really simple, really easy, as long as you stay in that room. I've ran through other scenarios where I've tried to defend through other areas, like the living room area and the upstairs, but it just doesn't work because you're always pulling yourself away from one particular area the enemies come through. So we're going to be using Beer Baron's strategy and just staying here. Now, if you go up to this window, as you can see, you can actually pick off a few guys before they actually get to the side of the building to get inside. And, don't absolutely necessarily have to do that, but it helps out. Because there are fixed amount of enemies in this entire level. It may not seem like it, but there are a fixed amount of enemies. What makes it seem like there's just a ridiculous amount is the fact that there's so many. So, just as I mentioned, another strategy we're going to use is once we're empty on one of these really big guns, and I say big guns, but emphasizing on the clip that they actually have. Instead of reloading, one of the best techniques is actually just to pick up another gun. You have good amount of guns all around you. Might as well just pick them up instead of reloading, just to save you a lot of time. And if you didn't hear me in the last video, or part 1, I pretty much spent the whole video talking about not using your claymores, or not using all your claymores. So hopefully you're still sticking with my advice. And I have 9, but at least have 9 or 10. Because the claymores you normally would use in this house, as you can see, you could pick the enemies off just yourself and not have to waste any of those. So that becomes important because in the third video, what's going to happen is this. We're going to once we complete the actual downloading of the module, or downloading of whatever data we're downloading, we're going to take care of all the stragglers that are kind of remaining, and eventually Ghost will make his way outside to this open field and actually hang out by this tree out into the. If we're looking out the door, it's to the right, and in the field, he's gonna be there next to a tree. So if you see him doing that, all it means is that one of the waves of enemies that are coming to you have not yet been triggered. Okay, so once you're very sure, and we'll talk more about it in the third video, but once you're sure that there's no enemies around, go outside and approach him, and you're going to see him move or get up or change positions. That's your cue to turn right around and go back into the house and start taking out enemies all over again. I say this because in the third video, when I ran through it, I'm not sure what happened, but when I looked outside, he wasn't by the tree. He had already moved, and I was already fighting more enemies than I anticipated. So not only was I fighting the stragglers, I was also fighting the enemies that he triggers, or that we trigger, once we cross a certain point. Once you take out those enemies, that's when we're going to be using those claymores. And because there's a wave that comes near the front of the house. There's about 10 or 15 guys, and those claymores pretty much take them all out, maybe exception of a couple. And that helps out a ton because there's enemies coming from the boathouse too. So I wanted to get that all out of the way so you understand why we're pre-planning so much. But that said, we'll see you guys in the next video. We'll get to it.